Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is one that every UK pensioner, retiree, or family member supporting an elderly relative absolutely cannot afford to miss. We're diving deep into new changes introduced by the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, which could significantly affect pensioners who own their homes, and that includes both those with mortgages and those who paid them off. These new home ownership rules come into effect in August 2025, and they are already starting to impact benefit eligibility, payment reviews, and financial planning for thousands across the country. So, what exactly has changed? In previous years, if you were a homeowner and receiving the state pension, pension credit, or any form of means-tested support like housing benefit or council tax reduction, your main home was generally considered exempt from the capital test. That meant you could still receive benefits even if you owned your home outright, as long as you weren't earning extra income from it or using it as an investment. But that safety net is now being tightened. The new 2025 DWP rules mean that your home's equity could now be counted as part of your assets, depending on your circumstances. This move has triggered concern among pensioners' rights groups, financial advisors, and support organizations like Age UK. Because for many pensioners, their home is their only major asset. To make this crystal clear, if your property is now considered to have a high market value or significant equity, it could push you over the DWP's capital threshold for means-tested benefits. For example, if you're receiving pension credit, a top-up benefit that supports those on low income, even a modest amount of additional equity in your home could make you ineligible. And if you're applying for housing benefit, you may now be turned away on the basis that your home is worth too much, even if you're struggling to pay your bills and have no access to liquid cash. But that's not all. The DWP's new rules also take aim at how property is owned, transferred, or shared. If you're planning to gift your home to a family member, transfer ownership into someone else's name, or even allow someone to live with you rent-free, that could now trigger a deprivation of assets investigation by the DWP. In simple terms, if the DWP believes you've transferred ownership of your home to avoid losing benefits, they can still count the full value of that home against you, regardless of whether your name is still on the deeds. This can seriously impact older adults who are trying to prepare for the future by passing their homes to their children. So who's at risk? These rule changes mostly affect pensioners who own homes in high-value areas, such as London, the southeast, or parts of Scotland and Wales where house prices have risen sharply in the last decade. But it's not just those living in million-pound properties. Even a small home that's appreciated in value over time could now push you over the benefit threshold. If your home is worth £300,000 or more and you have no mortgage left, that full equity could now be considered when the DWP assesses whether you qualify for help. This is especially problematic for single pensioners or widows who rely on additional benefits like council tax reduction or winter fuel payments linked to receiving pension credit. Now, let's talk about timing and enforcement. The policy officially rolls out in August 2025, but the DWP has already begun sending letters to people whose situations may be affected. These letters request updated financial information, including property values, mortgage details, and ownership history. In some cases, they are reopening old claims and adjusting or stopping payments until the data is verified. This is a major shift from the previous process, and it has already led to confusion, fear, and frustration, especially among pensioners who don't have easy access to the internet, digital banking, or professional advice. So, what should you do right now if you're a homeowner or helping a pensioner with their finances? First, get a current market valuation of your home. You don't need to sell it. Just know what it's worth. You can do this through estate agents, online tools, or even get a written appraisal if needed. Next, review your benefit entitlements and look for any letters or communication from the DWP regarding reassessments. Make sure your contact information is up to date with them so you don't miss critical notices. Third, speak to a financial advisor or benefit specialist before making any changes to your property ownership. Transferring your home to a child or relative might seem like a good idea, but under the new DWP guidance, it could be viewed as a deliberate attempt to sidestep capital rules, and that can backfire badly. There have already been cases where pensioners lost months of benefit payments due to this kind of misunderstanding. And here's something even more alarming. These changes may also affect future access to social care. If you eventually need residential care or assistance at home, your local authority will perform a financial assessment to decide how much help you qualify for. Your home may now be counted in full as an asset unless certain exemptions apply, like if a spouse still lives there. This means more pensioners may be forced to sell their homes or take out equity release loans to cover care costs in the future. It's a complicated and frustrating time, especially as many pensioners are already struggling with the rising cost of living, energy bills, and inflation. But knowing your rights and preparing now is a key to staying protected. Don't ignore letters from the DWP. Don't make major decisions about your property without guidance. And above all, don't assume that the rules are the same as they were a few years ago, because they are not. The system is changing fast, and those who don't adapt risk losing out. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. For many pensioners, your home is not just your biggest asset. It's your security, your legacy, your peace of mind. These changes by the DWP are complex and controversial, but they are not unmanageable. With the right knowledge, advice, and action, you can protect your entitlements and make informed choices about your property and your future. So please, if you found this information helpful, share it with others. There are thousands of pensioners right now who may be affected and don't even know it yet. Subscribe to this channel for regular updates on pensions, benefits, and government policy. Leave a comment if you have questions or personal experiences. We do read them and try to respond to as many as possible. Thanks for tuning in. Stay informed, stay empowered, and until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.